to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. Are you getting used to the fact that when I'm sat on the floor, like now, that means that it's a book haul? Because it's just so much easier at the moment when I don't have a table or anything here to sit on the floor and do the book haul when the books are here on the floor. Saying that, there's not that many in this book haul, rather than sit with them on my lap and try and wiggle them around. So, as I said, not loads in this book haul. Wanted to get, so been planning my videos and this was the day for the book haul. I've actually got some books in the post to me from 3 different publishers, and I was thinking they'll be here by Thursday. Well, they haven't. So they will get added to the April book haul, which means I've only got 4 actual books to show you, 2 library books, because I thought, well, I may as well do those library books and then I can start a whole new library haul in April. And then something bookish, which when I opened it, I was like, I have got to share this with people because I was very excited. So let's start with the actual books. So the first book is a book that my friend Emma has lent me. It is going straight on the TBR for next month. I've heard it like reviewed and talked about so much this month. Fern Brady, the author of this book, has been on so many of the podcasts I listen to, so excited to hear about it. This is Strong Female Character by Fern Brady. This is a memoir of Fern's. Fern is a comedian from Scotland, and she's autistic. And this is her memoir, which I've heard is sort of like hilarious because she is hilarious and she's written it, but also heartbreaking and like really awful in places because of some of her life experiences and what it's been like to find out she's autistic and things like that. I'm very much looking forward to it. She was recently on the most recent series of Taskmaster, and I loved her on that. And like I said, I've been hearing so much of her this month because she's been doing a lot of press for this book, and I've loved hearing her on Off Menu, on Women's Hour, on Richard Herring, I'm thinking, I know his surname, something to do with a fish, podcast, and yeah, been very, very much enjoying this a lot, so hearing from her, so I'm looking forward to reading that, and my friend Emma has already read it, so there we go. Then I got a book sent to me, which was exciting, from Verso Press, which I didn't know was coming. This is Hit Parade of Tears, which is a collection of stories by Izumi Suzuki. Now, I've already read Terminal Boredom, which was another series of stories from Izumi Suzuki, which I really, really enjoyed. Izumi tragically died very young in the 80s, in 1986 actually, which was the year that I was born. The Terminal Boredom collection of stories I really, really loved. So when this arrived, I was equally as elated because I had a lovely time with those, and I think I'll have it. I say lovely, they're all quite jarring and unusual. It says here, so this is a bit about Izumi and this collection. So it says, Izumi Suzuki had ideas about doing things differently, ideas that paid little attention to the laws of physics or the laws of the land. In this new collection, her skewed imagination distorts and enhances some of the classic concept of science fiction and fantasy. A philandering husband receives a bestial punishment from a wife with her own secrets to keep. A music lover finds herself in a timeline both familiar and as wrong as can be. A misfit band of space pirates discover a mysterious baby among the stars, Emma, the Bovary-like character from one of Suzuki's stories in Terminal Boredom, lands herself in a bizarre romantic pickle. Wryly anarchic and deeply imaginative, Suzuki was a writer like no others. These 11 stories offer readers the opportunity to delve deeper into this singular writer's work. So yeah, like I said, very much enjoyed Terminal Boredom, and we'll look forward to reading this as well. Then I've got The God of Good Looks by Brianne Mikova. This was sent to me from Penguin. This is out on the 22nd of June. It says, a sparkling, big-hearted, life-affirming debut about prejudice and pride, the masks we wear and what we can become if we dare to take them off. This front cover is amazing. I've got a feeling this is about a Trinidadian beauty queen or something. Let's have a look. Oh, here we go. So here's the press release. Bianca Bridge has always dreamt of becoming a writer, but Trinidadian high society can be unforgiving, and having an affair with a married government minister is a surefire way to ruin your prospects. When Obadiah Cortland, makeup artist, said something to do with beauty, and legend in the island's beauty scene, offers her a job as a lowly assistant, Bianca reluctantly agrees that working on his beauty magazine is the closest to her dream she's going to get, but Obadiah has a reputation for being aloof and tyrannical. I think I had to get my mouth around that one. And it will take all the strength her mother taught her to endure it. The God of Good Looks may be as fierce as she'd been warned, but there are surprises to discover in Bianca's new role. Unexpected friendships, the art and artistry involved in makeup, and a revolution in the idea of what it means to be beautiful. Most surprising of all, she begins to suspect there might be cracks in Obadiah's carefully crafted facade. Could it be she's not the only one who knows how easy it is to tumble down the social ladder? Oh, this sounds good. This sounds a little bit like Devil Wears Prada meets, oh my god, what was that book that was set in an office and she was like the only black girl in the office? That was, I don't think that was in the beauty industry, I think that was publishing. But yeah, it sounds like a mixture of those two books. Oh my god, what was that book called? It's completely gone, but yeah. If you know inside my brain, that sounds like a mix of that. Some people will know what book I'm talking about. If you do, it sounds like that and that. So yeah, great. That sounds really good, doesn't it? Very, very good indeed. And then I've got, because I bought this for myself, I'm a Fan by Sheena Patel. This won the Observer's Best Debut Novel of the Year, and it is on the Women's Prize for Fiction long list. Now, I picked for my Patreon book club, the theme for April is going to be books on the Women's Prize for Fiction long list, and this was in the vote up against Pod by Leyline Paul, and this won. And when it arrived, I was quite pleased because it's not only does it look short, it's also sort of like there's not all that much on the pages, so I think this is going to really fly through it. And we've had some big chunky ones in book club this year. But yeah, it looks a bit sort of experimental in the way it's written and stuff. We're going to see how it goes on, but I've only heard good things about this. So it says, the unnamed narrator, which I do love, of I'm a Fan, is in a seemingly unequal relationship with the man I want to be with. She is also addicted to cyberstalking the man's other lover, an online influencer she refers to as the woman I am obsessed with. Written with clear and unforgiving eye, this exhilarating debut explores obsessive love, race, privilege and power dynamics, and heralds Sheena Patel as one of the most exciting and original voices writing fiction today. So that sounds very exciting, doesn't it? So if you'd like to join in for my April book club, where we're going to be discussing this, we'll be discussing this the last Sunday in April. I don't know what that day is, and I can't work it out because my phone and diary and everything aren't here. And we'll be discussing this on the last Sunday in April at 7 p.m. BST via YouTube video, if you would like to join in. The book club and stuff is always linked down below. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. That's going on the TBR for next month as well, along with Strong Female Character. And then I've got 2 books from the library that I wanted to include here because I'm going to pick up some more books from the library tomorrow, and they'll be going on the April TBR. Well, they will be going on the April TBR, but they'll also be going on the April library haul. The first one I'm over halfway through. It's Cursed Bread by Sophie McIntosh, and this is also on the Women's Prize for Fiction long list. I was very delighted with how quickly this arrived, actually, and it's also another little slip of a thing. Sophie McIntosh is the author of The Water Cure, which I had on my shelves for ages, kept trying to read, never got round to it, and I think I eventually ended up getting rid of it. However, I feel a bit disappointed about that because I'm actually quite enjoying this. This is set in a French village, and you're following Elodie, who is the baker's wife, and her sort of obsessive thoughts over another woman who's living in the village called Violet, who is married to the ambassador. There's some strange goings on, and it's a bit sort of like she's writing some letters to Violet in the future about some big event that happened that we think had ended quite tragically. Plus, she's sort of like imagining what it would be like for if her husband was like sexually attracted to her, because seemingly he's very unbothered by her in this book and stuff. I can't believe how much I'm sort of like getting like out of this when it's only 180 something pages and I'm 100 pages in exactly. So like this is really packing a punch for a very small book. But yeah, enjoying it. Let me know if you've read this and how you're getting on with it. Then I've got Hungry Ghost by Kevin Jared Hossain. This has arrived from the library as well. However, I've also just got this out on the Libby app as an audiobook, so I don't know which of those I'm going to enjoy more. This was on the 6 books that are being discussed on the Sarah Cox book show, which I really enjoy, called Between the Covers. They released the 6 books that they'd be talking about like before. Weirdly, this book is also set in Trinidad. 2 Trinidadian books before the series started, and I put a reservation on all of them at the library so that I'd be able to read, if not along, but like if I like the sound of it, I could be like, I've got that book already. So yeah, this hasn't been discussed yet, but I'm excited. Like one of my favourite books from this year was Sometimes People Die, which was discussed on earlier this year on that show. So hopefully this is as good as that. As I said, it's set in Trinidad. It's set in the 1940s in rural Trinidad. On a hill overlooking Bell Village sits the Changur farm, where Dalton and Marley Changur live in luxury, unrecognisable to those who reside in the farm's shadow. Down below by the river is a barrack, a ramshackle building of wood and tin divided into rooms occupied by whole families. Among these families are the Sharups, Hans and Shweta, and their son Krishna, whose lives are shaped by back-breaking work, poverty and devotion to faith. When Dalton Changur goes missing and Marley's safety is compromised, farmhand Hans is offered a generous payment to move to the farmer's watchman. It's a proposition he can't refuse, but as the mystery of Dalton's disappearance unfolds, their lives become dangerously entwined and the small community altered forever. It says it's a mesmerising novel about family and class, love and violence, rooted in the wild and pastoral landscapes of colonial central Trinidad. Sounds amazing. And Kevin Yarad Hussein is a Caribbean novelist. Well, yeah, he lives in Trinidad and Tobago. Lovely end papers as well, which you can't really see because it's all strapped down. But there we go. So those are the books in the book haul. 6, not a massive book haul, but some good quality, I would say, there. And I also just wanted to show you my Papergang from this month as well. So Papergang is a subscription I've been subscribing to for a good few years now. Occasionally I sort of gift it to somebody for a 3-month period. So my sister's had this, my cousin, my friend Kate, because it's a stationery subscription, which is really, really nice. And there's always like lots of lovely notepads and pens and highlighters and clips and things like that. And you never know what the illustrator that they've worked with, what sort of central theme they're using. But this month it was books, and I'm so excited about how lovely these things are. So it all comes like this, all sort of wrapped up. And I've been desperate to show you guys. I've been absolutely desperate. So let me get it all out, and I can show you the bookish stuff that's been sent. So it's sort of got a bit of a sort of village, like fairy tale bookish theme. So the first thing is this whole long thing, which is postcards, which are lovely, and all of them are like bookish. So we got here, this is on a magical menu. It's got here bookshop, a book fair, another bookshop there, marbles and other curiosities, Sherlock Combs, and yeah, just lovely. And then on the back these are postcards, so that itself is lovely. Then there's 2 bookmarks, which I really, really love, of a man reading on some steps and an owl on top of a chimney with some lovely windows. And on the back one says, "No 2 persons ever read the same book," which is a quote by Edmund Wilson. And "There is no frigate like a book to take us lands away," says Emily Dickinson. Then I've got a little pencil which says, "Books are portable magic," and some stickers which will be used in this review book. So this is like a book journal, which I haven't used for a long time because I've now got my own sort of book that I journal my own stuff in. But I think this I may use for Patreon book club going forward, because I think this would be very, very handy to write down notes and stuff. Or maybe I'll use it to log my reading from next year. So it's the same thing as the postcard. So it's got this sort of bookshop here and then book fair on the back, and then each page looks exactly the same, and it has notes on this side. You can fill in all notes. Then it's got the review for the book with the date, location, which I think is nice, initial thoughts, a rating out of 5, would I recommend this, yes or no. These are all questions that we discuss in Patreon book club, why and to who, and then final thoughts. So I think that's really good. And when I'm doing wrap-ups, it's very good to have something to refer back to. So yeah, maybe that's where I'll review my bookish thoughts next year. But I don't know how many books there are in here, and obviously you know I read over 100 books a year. So there we go. But I just wanted to show you guys that because I thought it was very cute and bookish. So there we go. That is my March book haul. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know if any of these sound your sort of thing. And I'll see you all again soon for another BookTube video. Goodbye!